Be the owner of your time or risk losing it all. Find out what I'm talking about coming up next. This past weekend, we went into daylight savings time. And just like that, we lost an hour of our lives, jumped forward. Now, if we're lucky, we'll be around long enough. This fall, we'll get it back. But it's an interesting metaphor for like losing control of time in our lives. Like the clocks jump forward. We don't even have to do it manually for the most part anymore. All of our clocks are internet connected, so they just jump forward an hour. An hour of our life just disappears while we're hopefully sleeping in the middle of the night. And it's tough. I hate this time of year. It just sucks the energy out of me for about a week. And most of the people I talk to feel the same way. And so again, it's that idea that there's part of our lives, part of the time that we live and experience in our day-to-day lives that we have control over, part of it we don't, right? We lost an hour in a way that we don't have control over. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, whom I talk about quite a lot, really believed very, very strongly that we should be able to account for every hour of our lives. Time, as I've said in previous videos, is so precious. It's truly a finite resource, and none of it is guaranteed beyond the present moment. Even Marcus Aurelius, had that very famous quote, "Remember, you could leave this life at any moment. Let that determine what you think and say and do." So time is one of those incredibly valuable, maybe the most valuable, the most precious asset and resource we have. And so the way I like to think about time is owning as much of it as I can, making as much of it productive as I possibly can. We sleep away a third of our lives. So every other bit, I want to make sure that I'm doing what I can with it to make the most of it, to help it, utilize it, to leverage it in ways that help me grow as a person, help me do right by my family, to develop skills, to achieve goals, all of those things. To the degree that I take ownership of time and that I manage it in a productive way, the much more likely I am to have a successful life. And that what that doesn't mean is that when we say be productive with your time, when we say own your time, that does not mean that you spend all your time toiling away, that you're just you're drilling on a skill, you're working, you're just focused on the hardcore components of life. Owning your time, being productive with your time, does not mean that. It can if you want it to, but I don't necessarily think that is the best way to think about ownership of time. It could mean working on a skill. It could mean spending more time at work. It could mean a lot of different things. For me, at different times, it's self-care, right? It's exercising. And I'll tell you, you can probably hear the background noise. I apologize for that. But one of the ways I like to be productive with my time is to spend time with my family. So right now, I am in New York City, hence all the background noise, inescapable background noise, spending time with my youngest son, who's in the room with me just over there. So being productive with your time, owning your time, means consciously choosing how you use your time and not letting it slip away in ways that you don't consciously try to have control over. You can sit down and watch a movie. The other night, my wife and I had some time, rare time, so we spent time together watching a couple of movies that we had wanted to watch. For me, that was a productive ownership of my time. taking time with my family, with my youngest son, to go on a vacation together during spring break is a productive way to use my time. So when we think about time, let's think about ownership of time and squeezing the most out of every minute of every day that we can, and not letting it slip away in activities that don't drive us forward in some way that don't help us build relationships or maintain or nurture or nourish relationships with the people that matter most in our lives. Let's not let it slip away in ways that keep us from learning a new skill, from growing in our personal and professional development. And there's so many things, we've talked about this in many different ways over the last several videos. There's so many distractions in life that can pull us this way or pull us that way and create inefficient, unproductive utilization of our time in ways that we don't own. So we have to be in some ways kind of ruthless owners of our time to make sure that we get the most out of it. So go out there, grab a hold of your time, use it the way that you want to help you grow, however you define that. Don't let this precious resource slip away unused. If you found today's content helpful, please take a moment, hit that like button. Share it with someone else who you think might need to take a little bit more ownership of their time and might find this message helpful. And if you haven't taken a moment to subscribe yet and you like this kind of content, before you go anywhere else, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, please be well.